Hello and welcome to the April monthly video update. And I have a couple of awesome things to tell you just before we get into it. So we have Kareem, who's joined us. Really interesting background. He has worked for a number of companies and ended up selling two of his companies in the past, and there's a deep entrepreneurial background, and he'll be joining as our R&D manager. We have Professor Kami, a background in quantum mechanics, and he is joining as our researcher. We have Umar, who isn't on this call, but he has joined as our expert in parsing, and he has a fantastic background working with companies such as Microsoft and Facebook. We also have Moaz. He is going to be working on some of the rebrand for us and the platforms that we're going to be developing, beginning with the website and the plan for the Agoras Live project. Let me just give you a bit of an intro to the Agoras Live project. So we have, with the addition of Kareem, we can develop the Agoras Live project in parallel to Tau. This will give us a lot more flexibility and also speeds up the development process. So there are a number of fantastic things that come about from that. So one of them being just the fact that we can get closer and closer to a utility. This will allow us to get into the US markets, onto US exchanges, and finally be able to do more marketing. And that will kind of converge with Moaz's efforts with the designing and branding of the websites and the platforms. And then this also allows for a much quicker product that you guys can play with. And I would also say that just for any of you that are wondering, that the amount of manpower that we're using for this is very little. We're still predominantly focused on the previous product, so we're not moving too many staff over. We're just getting this product out. So the Agoras Live project is essentially the video portion, the freestyle portion of a knowledge market. So we still continue to work on the logical knowledge market, but this all converges into what is a real knowledge market, which is knowledge which is digitized, which is programmable, and knowledge which is shared face-to-face. So who do we have on the call? We have Killian, we have Umar, we have Kareem, we have Abishai, Ohad. There's just so many more people here. We have Tomash, Andre, Ohad, me, and Juan, and yeah, so let's get into it. I'm going to throw it over to Kareem for his intro, and we'll go from there.
Okay, thank you, Fola. My name is Kareem Kadesh, and I just joined the IDNI team as of May 1st as the Director of Software Development. But I've been talking with Fola and Ohad for over a month now about their project, and I'm very excited to join. I'm very impressed by the breadth and depth of the team that Ohad and Fola have put together. A little bit about myself. I have a long background in software development in an entrepreneurial environment. I founded and sold 2 companies already. So I'm very familiar with the software development lifecycle in general, but also in particular with the challenges that a startup would have in delivering products. So I look forward to bringing my expertise in software development to the team. I'm excited about the projects that we have in the pipeline. Our core technology, of course, is the TML product, but also recently we started working on the Agoras Live website, and we're looking at doing some other developments in the field of the computational resources marketplace. So all of these are applications that will be using the Agoras coin soon, hopefully sometime this year. So that's it. I'm looking forward to joining the team and delivering some cool products soon.
All right, awesome. Very, very good stuff. Thank you so much, Kareem. And it's a pleasure to have you on board. And
thank you.
Been working on getting you on board for a little while, and we're so happy to see the team in its full. I am going to put it over to Abishai, who couldn't make it on this call, but he has given a recording as to what he is up to.
Hi guys, I would like to apologize first of all that I cannot attend the talk today. So let me tell you just a bit about what I'm doing in the project. So you know that I'm writing the white paper. And you know the first line in the white paper as of now says that Tau is a decentralized self-amending platform, a technology that allows a computer program to change based on the collective decisions of its many users. Now this is very broad, and in the white paper we talk about different aspects of this thing. What I would like to introduce you to, and perhaps you have heard it already through the talks with Oad, about if you were to describe the system very concisely, what would you say is the Tau? Now, in mathematics, we basically, if we have a system and we want to describe it, in all formal systems, we start with the axioms. And then we can basically argue whether or not the axioms truly accurately describe the reality. So in much the same way, we are looking for the axiom of the Tau system. Now, you can say that the Tau can do many, many things, and perhaps this broad definition doesn't really highlight what are the core bases for such a system. It sounds like you have a system that can do anything for you. On the surface, Tau is a social choice-based platform, but the social choice and the scaling of discussions really come to support the aspect of collaboration. And the aspect of collaboration come to support the core thing, which is self-amendment or change. So we can say that basically in reality, change is perhaps the only constant. And here the same, we have a system, and part of the system are the users, and the system should change over time. Now this leads, as we know, also in mathematics and computer science, this implies recursion, and we know that if the system is complete, then this leads to paradoxes. Now, the idea behind the Tau is that based on the axioms of the system, which I'm going to provide in a minute, based on these axioms, it basically delineates a specific logic that avoids the paradoxes of self-reference. Okay, so we've talked about the law of laws, and the idea is that you have three axioms that allows you basically to do and to realize the Tau system. And these axioms are recursion, and the retraction and decidability. Okay, so let me just explain what this means. First of all, recursion talks about law of changing laws. So you have a law and you want to change it, so you need a law of higher level, and so on. Eventually you come up with the idea that you need an unbounded recursion. Now, this is the first axiom. The second one is retraction. So we mentioned that yesterday, that you would like some point perhaps when a law is no longer applicable or is not realizable or is not moral or whatever, you wish to retract it. So this implies basically that you live in a non-monotonic world, and this basically we're talking about non-monotonic logic. So you would like to retract the law. So this is the second axiom. The third one is about decidability, because eventually you would like to get a verdict whether this law is really gives you the value that it promised, and eventually you would like to turn it into an action. Okay, so you need it to be decidable. The system's supposed to be decidable. So these three axioms delineate a particular logic. The recursion tells us that we need a fixed point in the logic. Then we have the retraction, which says that, okay, it's supposed to be also non-monotonic. So this leads us to something like partial fixed point. And eventually we have decidability, and that tells you that the logic is supposed to be definable on finite structures. Okay, so we come to the point where we know that we're supposed to have partial fixed point on finite structures, and this is essentially what the TML is doing. Now, recently we thought about perhaps looking at it from a different angle, and then we basically formulated the calculus of laws. We're still working on it, it's in preparation, and the calculus of morals. Now, morals and law are two different things. Okay, so while morals are about what is right and what is wrong, laws are basically social agreements. So eventually we know that in our world, people have traded laws for morals, or morals for laws. Perhaps more of the latter than the former, So what Tao is about is basically if everything will work fine in the system, and we have the first users, and then the system can grow and evolve because of the self-amendment thing and all this logic that we have. Eventually, we can get a system in which morals equals laws. Okay, so if you take a look at the three axioms, if you want to get the three axioms from the calculus of morals, you would see the following thing, that for morals, for a thing to be moral, you have to approach it through negation. That means that you have to remove all that is immoral from it. So this corresponds to the law of retraction, the axiom of retraction. The other thing is that if you wish to evolve and to add more laws to the systems, then you would have to decide whether or not what you are going to add is moral or not. Okay, so this basically corresponds to the second axiom of decidability. And eventually, you will have a lot of laws, and some of the laws can be such that they will attest on their own morals. And eventually you get this self-referential process again, and you would like it to converge eventually. And that means that the law becomes a moral, because when a moral attests to its own moral, as being moral, it will be just the same. So this is just another way of looking at how to get these three axioms. So I know it sounds very philosophical, but eventually the system that we are developing from a theoretical aspect is a mathematical formal system. So it's supposed to be well defined with the axioms and then all the consequences that comes over, and eventually we get the practical system that's supposed to work. So this is from the research aspect. I just will summarize it now. We have a system that's supposed to be self-referential, self-amendment. Yeah, eventually it's like a culture that will evolve, and a culture that reflects on itself and then evolves with time. And in this culture we have constituents, which are the users that basically define the system. They are part of the system. There is no duality, okay, in which you basically separate the users from the system. And this whole thing is supposed to work, and that means that the user is supposed to collaborate and discuss what are the laws that eventually will drive the system. Okay, so for that they will need discussion, and they will need a platform that will allow them to choose what to choose over, which is, we have nothing at the moment. No such system really exists at the moment. So that's it. Perhaps Oad would like to comment about what I said. This is basically my views of what the Tao is, and I would like to end my recording with a koan. Okay, so this is very interesting, and I find it very much connected to what we are doing, and self-reference in particular. So a koan is a small parable that the Taoists use to enlighten the students. So it says the following thing. A man decided to go and study with a master. He went to the door of the master. "Who are you who wishes to study here?" asked the master. The student told the master his name. "That is not who you are. That is only that you are called." "Who are you who wishes to study here?" he asked again. The man thought for a moment and replied, "I am a professor." "That is what you do, not who you are," replied the master. "Who are you who wishes to study here?" Confused, the man thought some more. Finally he answered, "I am a human being." "That is only your species, not who you are." "Who are you who wishes to study here?" asked the master again. After a moment of thought, the professor replied, "I am a consciousness inhabiting an arbitrary body. That is merely what you are, not who you are. Who are you who wishes to study here?" The man was getting irritated. "I am," he started, but he could not think of anything else to say, so he trailed off. After a long pause, the master replied, "Then you are welcome to come study." Okay, so eventually he reached the fixed point, this man. And the fixed point is the I am, and no other description, because I am completely describes I am. Okay, thank you guys. Cheers.
Thank you, Avishai. Very much appreciated. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it over to Moaz to talk about some of the design that he's been working on. Moaz is also going to be working on a plan for the Agoras Live product, but right now he's also working on the branding for the new IDNI website. So I'll throw it over to him.
Hi team, I'm really excited to be here. In the last couple of weeks, I've been working on designing like first draft, but not final draft of a new website. which like will be like presenting our new products that will be launched soon, hopefully. And let me share with you what I've reached so far. Yeah, so far that I was like discussing with Fola that the first draft is going to be not polished from like in terms of high fidelity UI, but it will be like just demonstrating what parts we will have like in the website, and like we have the discussion with the team and like iterate on the actual in the design that I'm currently working on. So this is like the homepage of the website. While I was designing, I thought that we should like first like introduce what's ethnic and what we are trying to build, like the products that we're trying to build. And it's like just with the text that we're introducing a new era of the digital world, and it's all changeable. We can change like the text afterwards. And if the user clicks here, it will go navigate him to the about page, and he can know more about like what's exactly like our mission and what we think that we should deliver like in our products. And this is where we have like a little bit of video, kind of like similar to that, like the monthly report, where we like present like the team, or let's say Ohad as a co-founder of Ethnic can talk about the company itself. And after that, I thought that we would like introduce the company itself at the first part of the website, or the first part of the homepage, and then we will talk about our products. Let's say that we are about to launch Tau as the discussion platform, and we will talk about like the main features, and we'll get the user to get started here, or even to learn more about Tau. It's like it's all changeable. We can like put here, let's say, Agoras Live or Agoras itself, or even like publishing a new product, a new completely product. And here I was thinking that we can like share on other things that we are currently working on. Let's say like it's a Taubot, or a snippet of something that we are about to launch. And after that, we are going to add like some of the articles from our blog, and we'll have like keep discovering where we put the users to like, yeah, if you want to contact us or to get to us, which will navigate the user to about page, or even to check our blog. And this is like the regular footer. And I was even thinking about something else where we like whenever the user opened the website, it will directly give him like an exposure about the product that we are currently working on, like introducing Tau, which it can be like another product. Let's say Agoras Life, we launched Agoras Life, and we can put the main section of the website about Agoras Life. So it's like our main focus now. So this is like another option. And I was thinking also that when the users let's say hover over products, you can see like a list of our products, and even open the product, or see like the description of the product itself, and clicks on it and open the product page. So this is all like dummy. It's not like very polished from UI perspective, and the content is not also the final content. It's just like I was exploring how we can design, or how we can put the elements together in the website. So and here's like this is like when the user opens a product page, you can see let's say the main thing about the product. We can make it like a hero title, and some paragraph talking about the product itself. And this is like another navigation bar, which will like outline the main things that we are going to list here in the page. So we have like features, white paper, and roadmap, and FAQs, and community, and even the main button of the page, which is click get started. So this is like also a video, as now the Ethnic website is doing. Like we have a video of Tau demonstrating how Tau is working. So I have here the video and description of the video, and can list like features of the on the of the Tau or the product that we're trying to present here in the page. And when the user clicks here, you can see like the full post, or the full blog post about launching this specific product. And here I was thinking also in this section I was thinking about like presenting the white paper of the product that we have for, like, let's say that the investor wants to see the white paper or whatever the user wants to, like, to preview the entire white paper. So I just was thinking that we should like have a snippet, or let's say a summary of the white paper, and the user can easily click on read full white paper, so he can see the entire full paper from white paper from here. And as I was discussing with Fola, that we want like to make the roadmap as like Kanban board, so we can easily like put this specific task or this specific milestone in progress, and the user with time can see easily that this specific scope or this specific milestone is gone from like completed in progress, and in the future you can see like the milestone moving from a board to another one. And this is like let's say a frequently asked questions, where the user can see questions about the product, let's say what's TAO, why is TAO, all this kind of questions. We can like provide answers, clear answers to the user before he can like go to the website of the product itself. And here also we can like add kind of testimonials or even community interaction about the product. We can easily like implement, like, let's say tweets from Twitter, but like if someone else are talking about TAO or mentioning TAO in their tweets, we can easily implement it here. Yeah, and this is like this is the product page, and we're currently working to me and Fola to polish the blog post and blog page even more. Yeah. So this is like the progress so far.
Awesome, really well done. Really well done. I'm looking forward to seeing that and fleshing that out over time. And I don't know if you guys have seen on Moaz's examples, seeing as he's talked a little bit earlier than I will, but we've also designed the ID&I logos, and I'll dive a little bit more into that when I have a little talk about that as well. All right, and over to Killian for his updates on what he's been doing.
Hello everybody. So first of all, I'm happy to share with you the results of the community survey that we had last month. So the first question has been, how long have you been following TAO? As you can see from this pie chart, our community mainly consists of people who have been following the project and supporting the project for more than 2 years, sometimes even longer than 5 years. One can see that we've been struggling with getting new people on board. So this is definitely one area we should look into, while at the same time, of course, serving the interests and needs of our long-term supporters. The second question has been, what has gotten you interested in TAO? The main answer given has been the discussion platform, which obviously relates to the main vision behind TAO Chain. More generally speaking, the tech, which also relates to the discussion platform and the Agoras knowledge economy, has been the main answer. And Ohad, with his videos and explanations, has been driving interest into TAO Chain. Other points were social benefit, the derivatives market, the vision, and Zenet, as well as comments by Dana and Meow. So we always have to give credit to our community as well. In particular also to Dana and Meow for raising awareness about the project and bringing the knowledge of the project to the broader mass. Third question has been, what are 3 things you would like to see improve in the community? The answers can be split into 4 categories. The first category is education. The leading answer here has been simple explanations, which most people have been requested. So it's crucial for us to take away the complexity of the project in order for having more people understand what TAO is all about. This can be also done through videos, which has been a major answer as well. We need more videos that are simple in explaining what TAO and Agoras is about. Translations, documentation, and high-level discussions also have been answers in the category of education. Culture is the second category. Mainly the answers were more experts and developers would be wanted in the community, and the focus on more related discussions and less political discussions. With regards to driving more experts and developers into the project, I can say that I also have been working on a university blockchain research program for ITNI. So the goal here is to get in touch with different universities and get them interested in creating research topics around Tau chain, and so that we can basically exchange our knowledge with the universities and also gauge interest by the universities for our project. Another category has been the marketing. So the community would like to see more cooperations with YouTube influencers, which I think also makes perfect sense, and video in general is like a great tool to educate people and to engage with a broader audience. So definitely this is something we are looking into, and hopefully we can secure some nice interviews with certain YouTube outlets. Yeah, as one can see, also interviews, conferences, and social media are other areas within the marketing category that we should look into. Conferences currently, due to Corona, are at least physically not really possible, but I think we should check out if there's any virtual crypto conferences where we can attend. And yeah, also this is a call to action for the community. If you know any virtual crypto conference where you would like to see us present Tau chain and Agoras, definitely let us know. And social media, we definitely are looking to boost the presence in our existing social media channels. The product, so the fourth category, basically utility of the token has been asked for, which we are basically looking to enable faster due to the Agoras video consultation market, or due to the Agoras knowledge market that we are currently looking into. And the native token, swapping Agoras to a native token rather than the Omni-based token, has been another request, and we have been also looking into maybe being able to enable this in the medium future. And an exchange listing, preferably US based. Yes, we've been also working on that. So as Fola also described earlier in the community, in the monthly update from 2 months ago, we need a product to be not seen as a security token to be listed on a US exchange. So also the Agoras knowledge market in its first shape with the video consultation market will hopefully put us in a position where our token can be seen rather as a utility token than a security token. The next question has been, are you a coder? As you can see from the pie chart, the majority of our community doesn't consider itself as a coder. So for us, it is important to offer material for both people that can code and people that don't. So yeah, we have to build the bridge and make it easy for people who are not into coding to also be able to use and to understand and use our product. The next question has been, what is an effective way to get community participants more involved? The answers can be split into 4 categories: white paper, product, marketing, and discussions. Basically, the white paper and product are going to enable us further discussions and feedback from the community. Also, we should create a document outlining all the use cases to be imagined and created over Tau and Agoras. Also, meetups in virtual and real life developers Q&A, and the forum would enable further discussions. This said, we always, each month, accompanying our monthly update, have a developers Q&A. So you as a community are always invited to actually put your questions to be answered in the monthly update. The forum is also something we are currently looking to create, which will enable us more long-term discussions around certain topics. And marketing, a bounty program, contests, videos, advertising in universities as well as media outlets. So yes, certainly agree here. We are also working on a bounty program currently that we are looking to test and see if it makes sense to do. And this will also entail contests, as contests certainly are a great way to interact with our community and boost engagement. Videos have been also multiple times requested. This relates also to giving simple explanations, and I think videos certainly are a great tool for marketing. Advertising in universities and media outlets is also something we just started to do. So we, as described earlier, we are working on creating a program that can serve or that can get us partner universities, so to boost a knowledge exchange between our project and universities, as well as especially marketing our newly designed Agoras video market to media outlets. The next question has been, how would you like to contribute to the Tau community? The answers given can be split into 3 bubbles based on how often or what percentage of the people actually selected them. So this question was multiple choice. That's also the reason why these numbers don't add to 100%, because you were able to select multiple answers. So each of the answers in each bubble got the percentage that has been shown in the bubble on average. So participating in discussions and news sharing on social media are 2 things that 72% of our community can see themselves doing. 26% of our community were interested in blogging, developing software over TML, and organizing events. And 5% of our community said, I don't want to actively contribute, or they would like to contribute through education or by submitting questions. The next question was, what would be your preferred channel to obtain information about TauChain? This again was a multiple choice question, so each of the answers in the left bubble equals to about an average of 47% of the answers. Each of the answers in the right bubble equals to about an average of 8% of the total answers. So Telegram, Discord, email, newsletter, Reddit, and Twitter are the preferred channels to obtain information about our project and of our community, and the rather less favorized channels are Bitcoin Talk, YouTube, Facebook, and somebody wrote also a standalone Tau app would be nice. So the thing is, YouTube and the standalone Tau app, they weren't included as answers in the multiple choice question. So one could say that maybe more people would have selected it if they would have been able to be selected. The next question has been, how well do you understand the vision behind Tau? As you can see, at least a good amount of our people have been quite a good understanding about the vision behind Tau and what we are aiming for with the project. But as you can also see, there's still room for improvement, and some people still don't really understand what Tau is all about. So I think simple explanations and things like videos, simple videos of the use cases of the project certainly can help improve improve the situation with people understanding the vision behind our project. So relating to the earlier question, now the question, what could be improved to help you understand TAO's vision? The answers can be split into 3 categories: simplification, documentation, and product. By far the most relevant category is simplification, where most answers have been given. So we definitely should focus on creating videos and use case specific videos, not only to help our current community, but also potential newcomers to the community to understand our vision. Documentation, especially the white paper and examples of TML, has been the other category, and the product with applications, alpha, and the testnet. In terms of documentation and examples of TML, I can recommend you all to check out the TML bot that we have currently already available to play around with. You can find it if you're using Discord. Just go into the TML discussion channel, and there, the pinned message, you will find the TML bot tutorial where you can dive into using the TML bot and experimenting a little bit with TML. The next question is, how aware are you about the current resources available to understand and work with TAO? As you can see, a good amount of our community doesn't really know about the current resources available to understand and work with TAO. So what we did is we created a resources list, and you can find that resources list in our Discord channel, in the resources channel. But also under each YouTube video, now in the description you can find the resources list. Especially in order to understand and work with TAO, you might want to check out the blog posts by Ohad, but also the TML bot that maybe some of you don't know yet about. So yeah, play around with it and let us know how it goes. The next question has been, what do you expect from TAO's Alpha? The answers given here have been mainly the discussion platform with scalable discussions and self-amendment, support, so user support and multi-language support, as well as usability, especially also for non-coders, that the TAO Alpha gives a use case to Agoras, as well as being kind of a social network. The next question has been, how would you like to change the TAO community? Apart from a few other answers, it all basically comes down to growth. More depth, diversity, more international people, and more technical people have been the main requests. So obviously I think the release of the white paper will help us to drive more attention globally and by more technical people into our community. But also, the network of partner universities that we are currently working on could definitely bring us that level of expertise and internationality in our community. Then we asked you, are you more interested in TAO or Agoras? And as you can see, it's pretty much an even split, so we are happy you are both interested in TAO and Agoras. So the key findings of this survey basically come down to 3 points. First of all, simplifications. We have a lot of content currently that is rather difficult for people to understand, especially if they are not really coders. So we have to simplify it through videos and by demonstrating use cases of our technology. Another point is incentivication. We have a community, and a very loyal community, that has been following us for multiple years, and they are more than willing to contribute to the community. So it makes sense to create an incentive program for them in order to basically host contests or being able to offer a reward for translations and things like that. And thirdly, growth. We have a core community, but we have few people that just recently joined the community. So we should definitely create efforts into getting more community, into boosting the community size and into growing the community in depth and diversity and internationality, as we've seen before. So I hope that with the measures that we are currently developing, we will be able to accomplish going for these 3 goals. So thank you all for participating in the survey. Tau is a community-driven project, so your feedback is very relevant for us to identify obstacles in our community organization, as well as being able to propose solutions to that. So the first key finding has been the simplification of things. What I've done in the past month, among other things, was to create the TML bot tutorial, which you can find in the Discord channel, in the TML discussion channel. It's a pinned message there. So I invite you all to check out that document, go through it, see where you have problems understanding what's going on, and try use that document, that tutorial, to experiment around with the TML bot and see how far you can go. I'm not a coder myself, so for me it was also a challenge to actually interact with the TML bot, but I hope that the tutorial that I created there can help you to also get started in experiencing the TML bot. And please add your comments in the tutorial. Any feedback is appreciated. It will help us to make it even more accessible for anyone, if he's a coder or not coder. Should be like the TML bot should be made accessible to him. So another thing I think that works, that would be great for the simplification, is to create those videos. In order to do so, I've started creating a use case document where all the use cases should be listed that we imagine for TML and Agoras. So I'm going to share that document, and you are also most welcome to include your use case examples of Agoras and TML and to give feedback upon the existing use cases. So hopefully we are able to craft like a document outlining many use cases that then in the next step we can use to create video concepts, to actually enable us create videos that in very simple ways show not only our existing community but possible newcomers to the community the way how Tau and Agoras are going to work, and all that through showing use cases. I think that makes it very easy for people to understand. The other key finding has been the incentivization of our community. So what I've been working on is creating a bounty board where we offer certain rewards for the community to interact and participate in certain actions. What I can see there is on one side translations, either outbound translations, so meaning, for example, blog posts. Translation of blog posts could help a broader audience to get interested in our project. And inbound translations, such as from scientific literature, that could help, for example, OHAT to make progress on a certain research topic. Another part of the bounty board can be contests, as well for technical people, but also for non-technical people. So there could be technical TML related contests, as well as non-technical social media related contests. I think it's important to have a certain type of contest for each part of our community to have something for all of you, as our community is not just coders or non-coders, but a mix of both. So the third point I was working on was the growth aspect. So there's one aspect is the media attention, to get more media attention for the project. So I've started creating a document which is an aggregation of all relevant crypto media outlets, so that we can start marketing our project to these outlets. And we don't have a completed product so far, but we can still already start building the relationship with these media outlets, and hopefully soon we will also have a product for them to show them. Especially what we're looking for is to market the Agoras knowledge market in its first step, which is the video consultation market. So the other growth opportunity that I've been working on is the Blockchain Research University program, where basically we have created, or I've created a list of relevant partner or possible partner universities that are all related to informatics or computer science, artificial intelligence, you name it. And I think we can help this can help grow our community in a way that will attract more professional and technical people into experimenting and working with Tau chain and TML. What we can offer is, for one, research topics, interesting research topics such as knowledge economy, blockchain, artificial intelligence, and logic. On the other side, we can also provide funding for promising project ideas coming out of these partner universities, and we can offer expertise by being a mentor and guide to students who work on Tau-related ideas. And on the other side, what do we receive? We receive community, a network of partner universities. Students are getting familiar with Tau and working with Tau in projects that are actually using our technology. We can get media attention because each new partnership and each project coming out of this program can be newsworthy. And we can get knowledge, like peer review of Tau and Agoras by professors, which also helps us, or provides us with a much steeper learning curve and to help fix bugs. And we can get, hopefully, then also students to publish papers on our technology. So, that's pretty much what I've been working on. A few smaller things. I've been organizing a little bit the YouTube channel. There's now a playlist with all the monthly updates, as well as below every video there's now the complete resources list of Tau and Agoras. So each video description has all relevant information now. And now, as one more part for the growth, is the exchange listing. So currently there's not much trading going on the exchanges where Agoras is listed. And I can understand that on BCX or BCX or CowX, you are not really willing to trade on because they have been having some troubles in the past. But also we've been listed on Whitebit for quite some time now, and the volume there has been quite low also. So I invite all of you to go on Whitebit and actually start trading there. It seems like a good exchange. It works all good. And but on the other side, to get listed on a US exchange, I think, or we think as a team that we're not yet ready for that. We are waiting for better positioning to get listed on such exchange. Also, currently, like, we don't have a product yet that is finished, which makes it more likely for a US exchange to see us as a security token than a utility token. So we are they are more reluctant to actually list us. This is also part of the reason why we are focusing on the first step of the Agoras knowledge economy, being the video consultation market that will help us get seen as a utility token rather than a security token, and to get listed on a major US exchange. And but meanwhile, what I think we can do as a community, I would love to hear which exchange you like. Maybe not one of the major large ones, but a smaller one that you really like, that you have been having positive experiences with, so we can focus on trying to get listed on that exchange as a community. I mean, such exchange where it is actually possible to create a submission, to fill out a submission form. I know there are a few exchanges that actually list projects if there is enough pressure from multitude of people for getting a certain project or token listed. So yeah, let's get on that. Also, the more smaller exchanges we are listed on, the better our possibilities are to get listed on a larger exchange. And also, CoinMarketCap articulated that in order to have the circulating supply of our token shown, it helps if we have at least 3 or more exchanges with at least some trading volume, where we are listed. Okay, yeah, I think that's from me so far. Please, if you have any ideas, reach out to me. I'm more than happy to talk with you. If you have any feedback, please reach out to me. And yeah, let's move on. Thank you.
Awesome stuff. I am going to pass it over to Tomasz for his updates.
So hello everyone. In April, I finished the memory mapping of the BDD database vector. It uses temporary file or a file name specified by command line option. And there's also a new option to define maximum size of memory mapped BDD because memory mapping is difficult to reallocate. So Windows has a different system API for memory mapping than Linux and Mac. So I'm currently finishing memory map implementation for that. And with that, I'm updating the build script to create a TML executable for Windows. And I've also updated script and build for JavaScript. So it should be up to date. And Dragan has added verbits and types, new features into TML. So I spent some time on understanding these changes and updating parts of TML which print steps and changes and collects updates made in the database. And I've also begun documenting parts of TML I know, namely outputs, options, and TML driver API. So that's all for April from me.
All right, so I am going to put it over to Andre for his update this month.
Hello, everyone. As you know, as you saw in that post, we are moving to implement first steps in our knowledge market, how it will look like with the idea of it being decentralized in the future, of course. To give it a fast head start, we start centralized architecture with the basic possibility to share knowledge via video calls, because we all stuck at homes, most of us, because of that virus, and we saw a good opportunity to move with our knowledge market using this service that will allow users easily communicate via video and pay using their Agoras tokens. So far, I will show you the progress I've made. I created a front end, a backend, and currently connecting front end with backend to make all features work. And already I have something to show you on its current state. Okay, so we can already register, of course, on the website. Everything is stored in the database. This is our public profile. Every user of the system will have its public profile. He can hide, of course, from public or not, because we think about that everybody has something to share. Everybody has some knowledge to share. And if it's possible to get some money for it or help somebody using your knowledge, why not? So we put a price per minute. Your status change to online. We add our profile picture. We add maybe some more pictures, like, I don't know, diplomas or anything relevant to you. And from that, we will go to current main screen, where you can see all possible users who can share with you their knowledge for money. For example, I want to talk to Albert Einstein about space-time, and I see he's available for only $5 per minute. So we choose him, we see he's online, and we can make him a call. Currently, we use our server with Jitsi video server installed that allows us to control every call, start or end it, but because calls are peer-to-peer, we can't be man in the middle on that call, but we can stop and start the calls, so we that allows users to have privacy and allows us to have control over the call. As you see, as call started counting, the timer started to count. You can see the money floating in Agoras and in USD converted. Your cryptocurrency wallet is automatically created for you in your My Wallet. You can easily withdraw, deposit money to your wallet to use Agoras tokens that allow you to easily get paid or pay somebody for services you want. Of course, you have a session list. Of course, you have your favorite maybe contacts you like to call to. Another thing I'm really trying to make is to make every interaction with the website, with the future app, as easy as possible. So to start sharing your knowledge, all you need is to put a price per minute, and of course, to add a topic you want to share knowledge on. For example, I want to share knowledge on robotics and AI, and voila, people will see that you provide this knowledge and can contact you and ask questions, and you'll get paid for that.
I am going to put it over to Juan for his updates.
Hi, everybody. So this month, as we could see from Andre's talk before, we shared our time between our previous focus, which was TML, still our main focus, but we split forces a little bit with Agoras Live. So on the TML side, I kept moving forward with the compound term support, more related to the conceptual items we need to solve. So we already have a sort of representation methodology to support them, and I have been recently addressing what would be the unification of the compound terms in order to properly execute or actually solve the unification process for this new structure that we will be supporting. On the arithmetic support, I started also shifting the arithmetic primitives into the new type system implemented by Dragon, which will also provide which also provides dynamic bit sizing. So I still need to wrap up several things in that area, but we definitely make some progress. And on the other side, I address mainly regarding to Agoras Live. I address mainly the payment subsystem infrastructure. So we have identified the main components that we need to integrate and connect in order to support the off-chain payment channel for the Agoras tokens. And well, of course, we should be soon starting to implement that feature as we complete with the strategic decisions that we need to address in that sense. So that was mainly my focus during this month. Hopefully, during May, I can wrap up several threads that I'm currently addressing.
All right, and over to me. So we've been working on lots of things, and with the addition of our new awesome employees, we have been working on some of the things that I know you guys have wanted us to focus on, such as the rebrand. So I'm going to first go into the logo. So I'm going to briefly share my screen because this has taken us a little while to really settle on. We went through so many designers, so many ideas and drawings and thoughts as to what ID&I is as a company, and we had to reconcile all these ideas together and really think about where we want to go and how we want these products to be conveyed to the world. And we need to make sure that the company looks right for the products and that the branding looks right for the products. So I'm going to share my screen and just go over the logo very briefly, and then I'll talk about some of the other things that we've been doing as well. All right, so as you can see, here are the new ID&I logos. This is the main ID&I logo. And this will be used on the website, as you saw before on Moaz's section. He's already using the new logo. And then we have two variants depending on how these logos are going to be used in what setting, whether it's going to be printed or web or certain color backgrounds, or if it needs to be put next to something else, or it might be on its own. We have these additional variants showing the I and the I of ID&I. So if you go to our website, you'll see the old logo, but soon we'll have the new website and everything up and running. But I absolutely love this logo. I absolutely love the blue background version as well. So I think they look really, really cool. Really happy to get these out, and happy that we finally finished them, because it took quite a long time. It's not like creating a website. When you create a logo, it takes a long time to really settle on how you want to convey yourself. So that held us up quite a bit, and it ended up being just brute forcing it with a load of really good designers, and then settling on one designer who ended up pulling this out. Amazing work, and very happy for that to have been complete. Now, what else has been done? So again, as I mentioned before, we have Moaz, who's working on design, Karim, who is our R&D manager, Umar, parser expert, working on TML, Abishai, Professor Kami, working on the research alongside Ohad. And by the way, that leaves Ohad as our technical CTO. So he's not left. But I've essentially just been quarterbacking all the new staff members on their efforts as much as I can, onboarding, and just helping out, with whatever they need. I'll be working with Moaz on the website and on the freelancer platform as well. I've also been looking into the practical elements of the freelancer website in terms of what it's feasible for us to do from a legal perspective. So it's important for me to have a a good understanding as to what we can and can't do. So, for example, it's important to know that we can't we can't be selling these tokens ourselves. We're going to be working alongside an exchange for the tokens over the freelancer platform to be done through an exchange, and then you guys have to know, the users of the platform have to know that they're going into either directly push to using an exchange, or the users just must somehow know that they're using the exchange, and we are not the person selling them those tokens. So things like that are great for us to know, so we can build that into the platform. That's why I'll be working with Moaz. The Agoras live platform does require us to look into the legal ramifications. So I have been working with our legal advisors on what we can and can't do with the platform. And there's a lot more to do there, but it seems pretty straightforward from a content moderation perspective, from a token selling perspective. What we will need to do is make sure that the content on the platform is isn't something that's viewed illegal, and clean and high quality. From a token selling perspective, we can't sell tokens over the platform ourselves, and it must be very, very clear to the user that they are buying those tokens, Agoras, through an exchange in some shape or form. So whether it's a portal that they'll go to, or whether it's some either it's maybe just directing the user directly to the exchange, there are certain things that I'll need to know. So I'm doing the research and learning what needs to be implemented over the Agoras live video platform. And essentially just quarterbacking Moaz with the development of the website, all of the content on the website that needs to be rewritten. There's going to be a lot more in-depth information. Soon we'll have a lot more writing going up on the website as well. So all new content, all new everything really going up on the website. So that's going to take a lot of effort, and look very much looking forward to getting it done. So there'll be new videos and things like that to go up there, and I'm not really sure how we're going to do it just yet, whether it's going to be all videos or we're going to do some animations and things like that. I'm sure the website's going to be really, really cool. And then that really helps us get into the whole marketing side of things as well. So, once we have this whole brand cohesive idea solidified, we can use this whole thing for marketing as well. It's going to be a lot easier for people to digest what we're saying, and the more we say, the more we're able to refine it. The more questions you guys ask us, especially in the Q&A, or the easier we can refine things. The more we can refine things, sorry. So quarterbacking Moaz on the website and freelancer platform, working with Killian to help him, work on those community ideas, and just quarterbacking him as much as I can. Quarterbacking the whole team as much as I can, really, to be honest. I know you guys still discuss exchanges, so I do keep a finger on the pulse of exchanges. That's something that I always do. I'm always talking to the exchanges and talking to the people who set up exchanges for us. We do have a couple of members outside of the IDNI team officially who help us source exchanges and work with exchanges and set up the contracts for exchanges. So, I continue to research there. I continue to get live updates as to, where we can go, what we can do. And I just use that information to decide when it's appropriate for us to move on to maybe a bigger exchange, maybe a similar size exchange that we have right now. And just assess that. Sorry for these peeps and blobs. So, that's about it, really. Besides that, there are some initial contracts that I had to figure out with getting all these new and amazing people on board the company, which took a little while, but very, very happy to have everyone on board. That's it from me. And I am going to put it over to Ohad for his updates on what's been happening this April and early May.
Thank you very much, and hello everyone. Not too much to say. I've been involved in everything you hear here, and of course beyond. There's a lot going on. To comment to Professor Kami's request about what he said, I would just add that as one of the main differences between morals and laws, as I see them, is that morals are coming from the individual point of view, while laws are a thing of the society. And as Professor Kami said, in Tau, the law and morality get closer, indeed, because who gets to set the law on Tau, the users themselves, and each user have their own worldview. In other words, this is their moral values. And by that, we can get maybe for the first time a law that comes from the moral values of the majority, and not as we see right now, laws that contradict the moral values of the people. I will just add that I will conclude with saying for the progress from my side, we spoke about a system of equations, and Professor Kami spoke about axiomatization of Tau. Beyond the axiomatization that we already have, you already know about the laws of laws, which are axiomatization of the language to describe Tau itself, and also the axioms of the Internet of Languages, and TML happened to fulfill them both. And from the system of equations design that I've been speaking about in the last updates, we would like this design to be compatible with the grand scheme of things. Once we axiomatize Tau, well, we already did, but we want to add more to it. We will then want to be able to write those axioms in in the way of system of equations that we want to make support to now that we work on supporting. And by that, a larger part of the picture will come under the system of equations design. And that's all for now.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you all of you to at home watching this, and please stay tuned for the Q&A that we have coming up. All right, welcome to the Q&A, guys. So this first question is from Draghi, and they ask, if Bitcoin was hosted on Tau Chain, how would they determine the BTC block size? Would it still result in 2 different forks?
In order to reach a situation where resulting in 2 different forks is even an option, we need to have a disagreement that we cannot resolve, that stays as a disagreement, and then we get into this dilemma. I wrote about it in some length in the before the last blog post, Consensus and Options, and there is much more to say, and it will be said in the white paper. When we reach a situation that there is absolutely no way to decide which option to choose, like in Buridan's mule, we have to choose randomly. Yes, so that's the solution, which is not really a solution that we want to avoid in all costs. How to avoid that? How to create filters against such a situation? Well, as I started, there is so much to say, but I will only mention that one of the great ways is by discussions. And the more elaborate the discussion is, the more dilemmas fall, and we get to choose between one way over the other.
So this question is from Dana, and he asks, you mentioned in your example that questions represent demand in the market and that monetary value can be attached to the question to reflect this demand. Will this be a sort of auction, or are non-monetary rewards like status on the table, or is it all left up to the asker? It is all left up to the asker. So we intend to make this very easily programmable. So for example, yes, the user can create whatever type of auction they wish to have, and the non-monetary value could be, for example, a knowledge-to-knowledge exchange. But essentially, it's all left up to the user, and they can do whatever they want. And we intend this to be as easily programmable as possible.
It can be barter, you know, for example, knowledge. I can trade knowledge X for knowledge Y. It doesn't have to be money.
Right.
Yeah, I can trade subscription. You teach me piano and I teach you violin. Yeah, it can be even, I give you this piece of knowledge and you vote for me and you agree to my opinion. It can also happen. And you disagree to this guy's opinion.
What sort of device will be needed to run on Tau?
We indeed invest a lot of efforts and design considerations in making it as portable as possible to be able to run on as many devices as possible. And also things that are more platform specific, we separate them out and leave it as flags for the compiler for people who want to use it. Mm-hmm. And so yes, indeed, the intention is for all code that we are developing to run on as many platforms as possible. Of course, Linux, Windows, Macintosh, and Android, and iOS, and Raspberry Pi, ARM, and basically everything that has a C++ compiler.
So this question is from Aidan McMahon, and they ask, what is the roadmap for the project? When can the company offer a usable product and start making money?
So the roadmap appears on the website, but we are going to make a change to it. As I spoke about in previous videos, we are going to start working on Agoras in parallel to Tau. And in contrast to the plan on the website to start Agoras after Tau is ready, we want to offer several features of Agoras even before Tau is ready, so their development and mid products can go in parallel. And as a first step for Agoras, we do what we spoke about, the Agoras Live, the freestyle knowledge market, that people can trade unformalized knowledge in form of text, audio, and video. So that's in very short. More information on the website and more will come on the white paper.
Thank you. And this question is by Suyan, and I've had to translate this from Chinese to English, so please bear with me. Can you get a better exchange, at least to ensure the safety of funds? Where did the project go? So I'll answer this, and the project is still here, very much so. In fact, our team is growing. I'm not sure if you have counted, but there is over 12 of us together, all together. The exchanges have been something that we've been discussing in the community channel for quite a while now. I'm unsure if you have seen, but we have added another exchange. We did add Whitebit Exchange. So if you haven't tried that out yet, it has very good reviews. So please feel free to trade on Whitebit Exchange. We were discussing whether to go on a bigger exchange such as HitBTC. The community and us together decided that it wasn't really useful for us to get onto an exchange like HitBTC, because big exchanges have volume requirements, and just where we're at right now, we wouldn't meet those volume requirements after we get onto the exchange. So we are at a bigger risk of being delisted. So it makes more sense right now for us to focus on the product development. And then that will also allow us to get access to much larger exchanges in the future. The ones that we really, really want to be on, that I know you guys would, trade more on, such as, the Krakens and the Bitrexes and some of the more prominent US exchanges. And that's, where we want to be. And of course, we're always moving towards that. But the first things first, and I think the community were right when they said this, is that we should focus on the product development, focus on passing all the legal issues that we need to pass. And that also comes from fixing passing the hurdles of product development. And then when that is done, that will allow us to get onto bigger exchanges. So please use Whitebit Exchange. It's a great exchange. And we'll be adding more in the future. Not so distant future either. Thank you. Can I ask a question? There's a question that I wanted to ask. And I forgot to, I just remembered it popped into my head. Oh, synthesis. Code. Are there any limitations to synthesis that you're aware of?
Yes, it is the same limitation as any logical solving task. We know for sure that there are, even most of the problems in some sense, are too hard to be nearly practically solvable. However, it also turns out that the problems that arise in practice are usually easy problems, because they typically come with a structure. They are not built, they were not designed to fool you. They were not designed to be hard. But maybe the more important point is we as humans, we don't have any more advantage over what is mathematically possible. If some logical reasoning is mathematically impossible, or is mathematically very consuming, computationally very consuming, it is same for the human brain. And one thing for sure, the computer got a bigger brain, yeah? So I don't know to which extent the computer will be able to reach, but it will do better than us, that's for sure.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning into the Q&A. There's just been so much that's gone on this month, over the past month. So many new things. Please continue to add your questions to the Q&A. Have to add this call to action, because some of you guys have questions in the new channels, the Discord and the Telegram. So and then you don't add it to the Q&A. So please add your questions to the Q&A. And also please join the Discord as well. Please go out there, join the Discord, add the Twitter, if you have Twitter, follow us on Twitter. Killian's going to be managing the Twitter account. It's at tauchain.org. That's tauchain.org. And the Discord is in the Telegram channel. I will be posting that again after this video goes up. So do add us on Discord. So do join the Discord, sorry. Yeah, please stay active and stay excited, because there's a lot of exciting things going on. Cheers. Thank you.